Have you ever wondered why some people in their late 70s look 10 years younger, walk confidently, and still have that spark in their eyes, while others seem to age overnight, struggling with energy, memory, and motivation? The truth is, it's not just genetics or luck. Most older people start making a few ugly mistakes after 75 that slowly but surely steal their strength, health, and independence. And the craziest part is, they don't even realize they're doing it. What I'm about to tell you might sound uncomfortable at first, but if you care about living longer, stronger, and happier, you need to hear this till the end, because these 4 habits are what separate the thriving 75-year-olds from the ones who start fading away before their time. Let's get into it. After 75, something subtle but powerful starts happening to most people. They begin to move less and less, convincing themselves that slowing down is just a natural part of aging. But what really happens is that the body starts to believe what the mind keeps repeating. The moment someone tells themselves, "I'm too old for this," or "I need to rest more," their muscles quietly begin to shut down. It starts small, maybe avoiding stairs, skipping the daily walk, sitting a little longer each day. And before they know it, the body begins to forget how to move freely. The joints stiffen, the back aches, the legs weaken, and soon even getting out of a chair feels like a chore. Most people call it aging, but the truth is, it's inactivity disguised as age. The body was never designed to stay still. It's built for motion, for bending, stretching, reaching, and walking. Every time you move, you send signals to your brain that you're alive, that your muscles are needed, that your heart should keep pumping strong. But when you stop moving, those signals fade. The body responds by conserving energy, by reducing muscle mass, and by slowing everything down, from your metabolism to your mood. Movement isn't just about fitness. It's the foundation of independence. When you stop using your muscles, you don't just lose strength, you lose freedom. The ability to walk without help, to lift something, to get up from bed on your own, all of it depends on daily motion. And the sad part is, once this loss begins, it creates a vicious cycle. Weak muscles lead to fear of falling, which leads to even less movement, and that fear eventually becomes physical limitation. But here's what most people don't realize. Even the smallest movement can make a huge difference. You don't have to lift weights or run marathons. Simple things like walking around your garden, standing up every 30 minutes, stretching your arms while watching TV, or dancing a little to your favorite song are enough to remind your body that it's still needed. The moment you start moving again, your body starts repairing itself. Blood flow improves, joints become more flexible, and balance returns slowly but surely. The body is incredibly forgiving. It responds to care almost instantly, no matter the age. The people who stay vibrant well into their 80s and 90s all share one secret: they keep moving. They treat motion like medicine. They stretch every morning, walk with purpose, and never let a day pass without using their body. It's not about pushing limits. It's about keeping the rhythm of life flowing through your muscles. When you move, you breathe deeper, think clearer, and feel lighter. It boosts your mood, sharpens your memory, and keeps your spirit alive. The tragedy is that many older adults don't realize that movement is the most powerful anti-aging tool they already possess. It costs nothing, requires no equipment, and works better than any pill. The more you move, the more alive you feel. And that feeling is what keeps you young from the inside out. As people move past 75, one of the biggest changes that quietly undermines their health is the way they eat. Many stop caring about what goes on their plate, assuming that at this age, food doesn't matter as much anymore. Appetite shrinks, energy dips, and cooking feels like too much effort. Meals become smaller, simpler, and often less nourishing. Breakfast turns into a cup of tea with a biscuit. Lunch might just be bread with something easy, and dinner becomes a quick snack instead of a real meal. It may feel harmless, but over time, this shift starves the body of the nutrients it needs the most. The human body after 75 becomes more fragile, more sensitive, and more demanding in terms of what fuels it. It needs more protein to maintain muscle mass, more vitamins to keep the immune system strong, and more water to help every organ function properly. Yet most older adults eat less of these things and more of what's convenient, soft, processed foods that are easy to chew but nearly empty in nutrition. The lack of proper food doesn't just make people weaker, it accelerates aging from the inside out. Muscles shrink faster, bones become brittle, skin loses elasticity, and even the brain starts to slow down. Protein deficiency alone can lead to frailty, making it harder to recover from illness or injury. Hydration is another silent problem. Many elderly people drink less water because they don't feel thirsty as often. But dehydration leads to fatigue, confusion, constipation, and even dizziness. It's not just about what they eat, it's about what they stop eating. The colorful fruits, leafy greens, eggs, fish, beans, and nuts that once gave their bodies energy are slowly replaced by bland, easy comfort foods. The result is a slow decline that looks like aging, but it's actually malnutrition. What's even more heartbreaking is that many older adults stop enjoying food altogether. Their sense of taste fades, their teeth might ache, and they lose the excitement of eating something vibrant and flavorful. Food becomes a chore instead of a pleasure. But eating well at 75 and beyond isn't about dieting or restriction, it's about celebration. Every bite of nourishing food is a signal to the body that you still care about it, that it's still worth maintaining. A bowl of fresh soup, a handful of almonds, a serving of yogurt, a bit of fruit in the morning. These are small changes that make a massive difference. The body still has the power to heal and rebuild itself if it's given the right materials. Even after years of poor eating, it can bounce back with proper care. When you feed your body right, everything changes. Your energy returns, your sleep improves, your mind becomes clearer, and even your mood lifts. Real food fuels not just your body, but your spirit too. The people who age gracefully are the ones who never stop respecting the importance of good nutrition. They eat mindfully, choosing foods that give life instead of draining it. Because eating well after 75 isn't about living longer, it's about living stronger, with enough vitality to enjoy every remaining moment. Loneliness after 75 is one of the most painful yet overlooked realities of aging. It often begins quietly, almost unnoticed. Friends start passing away, families get busy, routines change, and before long, silence becomes a constant companion. Many older adults begin to withdraw emotionally, not because they want to, but because they feel like they no longer belong in the fast-paced world around them. They stop calling people, they wait for others to reach out, and when no one does, they start to believe they've been forgotten. What's worse is that many older people convince themselves that isolation is normal, that it's simply part of growing old. They sit alone for long hours, eat their meals in silence, and spend evenings watching television without truly interacting with another human being. But what they don't realize is that this emotional withdrawal doesn't just affect their heart. It affects their health, their mind, and even their lifespan. Studies have shown that chronic loneliness can be as harmful as smoking or obesity. It increases stress levels, weakens the immune system, and raises the risk of heart disease and dementia. When a person feels disconnected for too long, their brain begins to interpret it as danger, triggering a constant state of low-level stress. Over time, this damages both the body and mind. You might notice someone who once laughed easily now appears distant, forgetful, or irritable. It's not just mood. It's the body reacting to isolation. Human beings are wired for connection, it's part of survival. The simple act of talking, sharing a story, or holding someone's hand releases chemicals in the brain that reduce stress and boost happiness. That's why even short conversations can make a massive difference for someone over 75. The tragedy is that loneliness feeds itself. The longer someone stays isolated, the harder it becomes to reach out again. They start to lose confidence, worry about being a burden, and convince themselves that no one would care to listen. But connection doesn't have to mean big social gatherings or long phone calls. It can be as small as chatting with a neighbor, greeting people on a walk, or joining a local group. Many seniors find new joy through volunteering, joining a walking club, or even learning something new alongside others. What matters is interaction, no matter how small. That spark of conversation can reignite motivation, lift the spirit, and remind a person that they still matter. When older adults stay connected, their faces light up, their posture improves, and their energy changes completely. They laugh more, sleep better, and even feel less pain. Human connection keeps the heart strong in ways that medicine cannot. It reminds them that they are part of something bigger, that their stories, wisdom, and presence still have value. Loneliness may creep in as the years go by, but it can be fought with the warmth of companionship, the power of conversation, and the simple act of caring. The difference between fading away and staying vibrant often comes down to one thing: staying emotionally connected to life and the people in it. One of the most overlooked but powerful secrets to staying young after 75 lies in keeping the mind alive through learning. Unfortunately, most older people slowly stop feeding their curiosity as the years pass. They settle into routines, watching the same shows, repeating the same habits, and telling the same stories. Somewhere along the way, they start believing that learning is for the young and that their time for discovery is over. That single thought quietly starts closing the door to mental growth. The brain is like a muscle. It thrives on challenge, stimulation, and novelty. When it isn't used, it begins to slow down, just like an unused limb. The saddest part is that mental stagnation doesn't always look obvious at first. It starts as small forgetfulness, then boredom, then disinterest in things that once brought joy. Slowly, life feels smaller, duller, and less meaningful, and the spark that once drove curiosity begins to fade. But the truth is, the brain never stops being capable of growth. Even in your 80s or 90s, your mind can form new neural connections if you keep challenging it. Learning isn't limited to classrooms or books. It's in every small effort to understand or experience something new. It could be learning a recipe, figuring out a smartphone, trying a new game, or simply reading about something you've never explored before. These small acts keep the brain active and awake. When older adults avoid learning because they think it's too late or too difficult, they unknowingly accelerate their cognitive decline. The less they challenge their minds, the faster their focus, memory, and creativity fade. But when they make curiosity a daily habit, the results are astonishing. The mind stays alert, decision-making sharpens, and life feels fuller again. Learning also reignites self-confidence. Every time you master something new, no matter how small, your brain releases dopamine, the same chemical that fuels motivation and joy. That's why learning keeps you feeling alive. It gives you something to look forward to, something to talk about, something that reminds you that you're still growing. It's not about becoming an expert. It's about staying engaged with life. You might be 75 and decide to paint for the first time, or 80 and learn to use video calls to talk to family. Each new skill adds energy to your days. Those who keep learning also tend to stay socially active, which doubles the benefit by combining mental and emotional stimulation. The beauty of learning in old age is that it connects past wisdom with present curiosity. It allows you to use the knowledge you've gained over a lifetime and apply it in new, exciting ways. The people who remain mentally sharp and happy deep into their later years are the ones who never stop asking questions, never stop experimenting, and never stop finding wonder in the world around them. Keeping the mind alive through learning is not just about preventing decline. It's about living with purpose, enthusiasm, and a sense of discovery that makes every day worth waking up for. Aging beautifully isn't about good genetics or expensive treatments. It's about the daily choices that shape how you feel, move, and live. The people who continue to thrive after 75 aren't necessarily stronger or luckier than others. They're simply more intentional. They refuse to let their age define what they can or cannot do. Instead of surrendering to the idea that growing old means slowing down, they make conscious decisions to keep their body active, their mind sharp, and their heart open. They understand that vitality doesn't disappear with time. It fades only when neglected. Each day they make small but powerful choices, like taking a walk even when it's easier to rest, preparing a healthy meal instead of reaching for something processed, or striking up a conversation when silence feels more comfortable. These small moments add up, becoming the foundation of a life that feels alive instead of old. What separates those who age gracefully from those who fade is mindset. Many people think aging is a battle against time, but it's really a partnership with it. Your body listens to your attitude. When you see each day as a new opportunity to nurture yourself, your body responds with energy and resilience. When you believe you're too old to change, your body follows that belief too. It's fascinating how the mind shapes the physical. People who stay curious, positive, and active tend to have fewer health problems, stronger immune systems, and even better memory. It's not magic, it's mindset in motion. The choices you make about how you eat, move, and think are messages you send to your body. When those messages are full of care and determination, your body pays attention and rewards you with strength and vitality. Aging beautifully also means accepting the natural changes that come with time without giving up on yourself. Wrinkles, slower steps, graying hair, they're not signs of decline but proof of a life lived. Yet, the people who truly inspire are the ones who embrace these changes while still striving to grow. They find balance between acceptance and effort. They know they can't control everything, but they can control how they respond. Instead of complaining about what they've lost, they focus on what they still have and what they can still do. That simple shift keeps their spirit young and their hearts full. It's easy to assume that vitality fades with the years, but it's often the result of habits and mindset, not age itself. Movement, nutrition, connection, and learning, these are the pillars of a long, vibrant life. Every day is a chance to strengthen them. When you treat your body kindly, feed it well, stay connected with people who bring joy, and keep your mind curious, you defy what most people call aging. You become proof that growing older doesn't have to mean growing weaker. It can mean becoming wiser, stronger, and more alive than ever before, because aging beautifully is never an accident. It's a daily choice to keep living with purpose and passion,